I pulled into my driveway and froze. A locksmith's van sat parked at the curb, its back doors open, tools scattered. My stomach dropped like ice. A man crouched at my front door, drill biting into the lock. And right behind him, supervising as if they owned the place, were my parents, smiling as though this were their home, not mine. The house had been my secret. My first real taste of freedom. 4 years, they had dictated everything. What I studied, where I lived, who I was allowed to love. Every choice had to pass through their approval, as though I couldn't breathe without their permission. That's why I hadn't told them. Not until it was already mine. The papers signed, the boxes unpacked, the new key warm in my palm. At first, they played their roles well. My mother wrapped me in a hug so tight her perfume nearly suffocated me. My father clapped me on the back, pride painted across his face but never reaching his eyes. I caught it, the look. The flicker of something sharp, bitter. Their grip on me was slipping, and they knew it. I should have realized then they'd never let go. The intrusions began small. A dish shifted from where I left it. Curtains drawn when I knew I'd left them open. Mail tampered with. I told myself I was imagining things, until the morning I found one of their mugs on my counter. Washed. As though it belonged there. That was the moment I checked the locks. Tiny scratches along the keyhole told me the truth. They'd copied my key. That night, I replaced the locks. I didn't confront them. I didn't scream. Anger makes noise. Revenge works in silence. So, I prepared. Cameras tucked into corners. A folder filling with dates, times, photos. I studied property laws, trespassing charges, burglary statutes. I waited, because I knew them. The more I pulled away, the harder they would cling. Step 1. Record everything. Video, audio, timestamps, evidence no one could deny. Step 2. Bait. I left my work schedule in plain sight, long shifts highlighted, knowing they'd accidentally see it. Step 3. The trap. A new, high-security lock that couldn't be picked quietly. Anyone breaking in would have to drill. Loud, obvious. And last, the number of a police officer I'd already spoken to, waiting for my call. That Friday, I parked 2 blocks away and approached my house on foot, silent, unseen. And there it was, the locksmith's van, the drill whining against steel, and my parents hovering like vultures. My father's voice cut through the air. We're her parents. We have every right. Every word landed on camera. Every second another nail in their coffin. I stepped from the shadows, steady, deliberate. Funny, I said, because legally you don't. They spun around, startled. My mother's face collapsed into her favorite act. Wounded, innocent, betrayed. Sweetheart, we were just worried. No, I interrupted, voice cold. You were trespassing. And I warned you. I pulled out my phone and dialed. Yes, officer, I said clearly. They're here, just like we discussed. Color drained from their faces. My father's jaw clenched. My mother's hands shook. You wouldn't, my father hissed. I already did. Minutes later, blue and red lights painted the street. Neighbors peeked through curtains, whispers spreading like fire. Officers stepped out, calm but firm. I handed over the folder I'd prepared. Photos, logs, recordings. This is months of harassment, I explained. Today they brought a locksmith without consent. The officer glanced through the evidence, then turned to my parents. Sir, ma'am, you'll need to come with us. My mother broke instantly. Tears streaming, pleading, her usual performance. My father, cornered, lashed out in rage, spitting threats. None of it mattered. The cuffs snapped shut. For the first time, they weren't in control. The locksmith stood frozen, realizing too late he had been part of a crime. My parents were led into the cruiser, my mother's cries echoing down the street, my father's glare burning into me. But I didn't flinch. Barefoot on my own doorstep, I stood still, unshaken. That night, I walked inside without fear. My house. Mine. The silence wrapped around me, light and clean. Years of manipulation, of suffocating control, dissolved. They thought they still owned me, but I had already taken back everything they tried to keep. As I locked the door behind me, the click rang out like victory. And into the empty rooms, I whispered the truth. They copied my key, but I changed the lock.